me what to do. Give me the power of a man's red flower, so I can be like you. Oh, Ooby-Doo, I wanna be like you. I wanna walk like you, talk like you too.
Oh, it's good to be back here, Staffy. Hell of a weekend, mate. You're down at the Golf Nisbo. You gave one of your daughters away. That must have been one of the hardest test matches you've ever had to commentate at.
It was, lads, yes. Wedding of the year in Featherston. It was fantastic, actually, and the weather was great. Everything was good about the weekend. The only thing is I didn't see any footy, but hey.
Did you have to make a speech? Did you make a speech?
Yeah, I made a speech, yeah. I think I went about 5 or 6 minutes. You don't want to overdo these things, but said all the right things, and no, it was great. It was really great.
It would have been painful if you were a punter there, I guess. But yeah, so you finally locked away the shotgun for another year.
No, I've still got it. I've got another daughter.
You do?
I have, yes.
No, I'd love to marry into your family, Nisbo. And Staffy, how about the New Zealand Golf, mate? How's the 19th hole?
19th was good. It's a great venue down there at Millbrook. Just absolutely beautiful. And it's not your classic finishing hole. There's not grandstands all littered round like we see on the PGA Tour. There's like beanbags and deck chairs and polite applause and hell of a good week. Great scoring.
Yeah, it was.
And in fact, Nisbo won it. Daniel Nisbo.
Yeah, I had to go look at your family tree and do a bit of research there, but he doesn't look like you at all.
No.
Same sort of hair, but that's
Plays a bit like me, though.
Yeah, very, very similar.
Yeah, nice, lads. Well, hey, let's tuck in straight into the rugby. A few ups and downs and some good rugby still being played. Let's start off with the Chiefs this week. They've got a bye, but geez, they've got a lot of injuries. They're riddled, especially in their tight five. Nipo Lalala's out with a fractured forearm, so he's had surgery on that. Moley is out with a hematoma to the quad.
It has to be operated on. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, the big bruiser.
Jeez.
Yeah, so what? Like, is it good to get these injuries out early in the season, or they've got a massive mountain to climb now, Stephen?
Not if you're a Chief. Jeez, every year they just seem to get riddled with bloody injuries. I just think they need more fluoride in their water in Hamilton or something. There's something not quite right.
What were your thoughts on this, Nisbo? Geez, they played well against the Blues, though, when they last week, leading by Sam Cane. So they do have a good ticker.
Yeah, they do look to be one of those teams that attracts a lot of injuries, and the staff said it's happened over a long period of time. It's always the Chiefs who seem to be in the headlines because of their injury worries, and I feel really sorry for Laulala because, he was a starting All Black prop at the end of last year. He missed the entire 2016 season and was just starting to assert himself and, and put a bit of pressure maybe on Owen Franks, who'll be due back on the tight head side, I guess, in the next month or two. So, yeah, really tough on the Chiefs. I think they'll be pleased they've got a bye, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. Well, also, Sean Stevenson was pulled out of the warm-ups.
I saw him do it.
Yeah, what?
Oh, his knee just went bang.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he was screaming, not with pain, just with absolute frustration that he was ruled out. It was about 15 minutes, 20 minutes before kickoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was taped up like Farlap, to be honest, so there's obviously an ongoing issue there, but no, he was not a happy camper.
Yeah, no, mate, they're also missing Charlie Ngatai, Dominic Bird, Kane Hames, and also I think big Brodie Retallick poked his eye or something at the bottom of the ruck, so fingers crossed that these guys can get the camp sorted by next week. The Crusaders still look dazzling. Out on the backs, their set piece was quite nice as well. Steph, you were down there. Are these guys looking better than they were last year?
Well, probably as good. I mean, you can't get much better than last year, but they're just so complete. And when the guys come on off the bench, I mean, Luke Romano in his 100th super game for the Crusaders just comes on, and it's just a factory. The other teams just look at their bench and go, my God, there's 7 starters, you know?
Yeah, but like Richie Mwanga, cops one to the mush, broken jaw, very unlucky, spent a bit of time on the sideline last year. It's Mitchell Hunt's paying short odds to fill his boots, Nisbo.
Yeah, well, they've got 2 options, haven't they? They've got Mitchell Hunt and they've got Mike Delaney. I suspect they'll go with the younger man, and Delaney will sit on the bench. Look, it's a test of the depth in the squad, and of course they're operating at the moment without Moody, without Franks, without Reid, and still playing well. And, this is a long haul, this competition, and And the team with the most depth is usually the team that comes through. And the Crusaders did it last year. There are one or two other teams around that have got reasonable depth, but have got injury concerns as well. But yeah, great start by the Crusaders. I'll just make a point about these injuries in the warm-ups. It would never have happened in our day, because warming up consisted of putting a bit of liniment on your legs and running out and playing. These guys play a game before they play the game.
Yeah, they are drenched in sweat after their warm-up. So I always look and think, man, you know, and they go hell for leather for about 15 minutes before they walk off and then come back out. And I'm like, if you're a marathon runner, do you go out and run a 5K beforehand just to warm up? No, you don't.
Yeah.
That's all Kellogg's cornflakes getting burned up. I don't get it.
No, I reckon they should take a tip out of Marty McKenzie's book, because I've seen him there before a game, and he's actually watching horse racing that he's punted on. So I reckon that's great. I'll probably throw him under the bus there, actually. But no, talking about depth, geez, the Crusaders, they've got 6 international players sitting out. It's just a scary thought how deep they actually go. But yeah, big game for the Crusaders, obviously, this weekend. It's probably their biggest test thus far in the comp, early doors against the Canes. They haven't won at the Caton since 2012, Staffy, I believe it. And if Mitch Hunt is playing a 10, he's got big jobs ahead of him, with Bodie Barrett playing his 100th Super Rugby game.
Yeah, big man marking him. I guess the one thing in the Crusaders, so one of the things in the Crusaders' favour is just the travel that the Hurricanes have had, you know, where they've had the trip to Africa, then the trip to Argentina, now the trip back to Wellington. That is a big ask, and that usually tells towards the tail of a game. So the Hurricanes will really, really need to have a fast start and try and hold on.
Yeah, now it's going to be loaded with all sorts of rugged behaviour, and it might even have all the officials looking at the TMO under the microscope a bit more. But which brings me to my next point. How good was it seeing a bit of argy-bargy in the game against the Jaguares? Is that how you pronounce it, Steph?
Jaguares.
TJ Perenara getting into a bit of a scrap with the captain, I think it was, when he, Ben Lamb dotted down and he went and took out his leg. So it's good to see that back.
Yeah, look, I watched last week against against the Bulls. If you can get a copy of it, go and watch the last, 3 or 4 minutes and watch TJ Perenara. If there's a guy trying harder for his team anywhere in the conference, I haven't seen him. He was absolutely rabid. He will do anything he can. Upsetting. He was hitting rucks, he was hitting mauls, he was going for steals, he was covering defence. And this is at the end of 80 minutes at altitude. He is an out-and-out competitor, TJ Perenara. I love it.
Yeah, the yappy little Jack Russell at the back of the Canes. You would be happy with the way they're going. Well, first getting their first win of the season, Nisbo. Bit scruffy, but good to get over the line.
Yeah, I don't know how good the Jaguares are this year. They were beaten a couple of times, I think, in South Africa, weren't they? And yeah, even though it was in Buenos Aires, that was okay. It was okay. And I think Chris Boyd kept, expectations reasonably good when he said that, it was all right. It wasn't marvellous, it was all right. There's big improvement required. They do have the trip back, but they did arrive back on Monday. So, it's a direct flight these days from Argentina to New Zealand. So it's not quite so bad, actually, as going to South Africa. But the combined effect of all the travel they've had over the past couple of weeks won't be easy for them. So, look, I reckon it's a real 50-50. In fact, I looked at the odds just a few minutes ago. 187 the pair. It's not often the bookies don't really have an opinion one way or the other.
Who's the person to watch out for in this game then, Nisbo? You think Bodie Barrett, he's just became the 4th player in Super Rugby history to score over 1,000 points. But yeah, no, Bodie's also playing his 100th Super Rugby game, and he's just in sublime form. He's tracking to take over the mantle of one of the best first fives in the world. I think that Dan Carter still probably holds, Nisbo.
Well, he is the Rugby Player of the Year, so you've got to assume that the last couple of years they've voted him to be the best player on the planet, which sounds pretty good, doesn't it, really? But yeah, look, he's easing his way back into it. He had a few minutes in Pretoria a couple of weeks ago, then he played the game in Buenos Aires, so he hasn't had a heavy workload, that is for sure. And you'd have to say that the Canes have an advantage there over whoever the Crusaders put up. The other guy the Crusaders are missing, I'm sure will be missing, is Matt Todd. Now, he is a genuine open side flanker, and he's out, of course, with an injury. So really two key guys who were available at the start of the season, forgetting about the Moody's and the Frankses and the Reeds. Todd and Mo'unga are both gone. So that's pretty tough on the Crusaders.
Let's add to that, Nisbo. Pete Samu is out as well, and also Jordan Tafua. So they're going to be going to, Ethan Blackadder? You're going to be going deep into their new talent pool, I guess, Steph.
Yeah, and I hear that the boys in the Crusaders absolutely love Ethan Blackadder. He's like a real gumboots and swan dry type guy. Just rolls his sleeves up. He's not fast, but he's just got a huge motor, absolute huge motor, and he will do anything for the cause. They absolutely love him.
And Hayden Bedwell Curtis, he's looking in great nick as well.
Wow. Great pedigree.
Number two.
Yeah.
Number two. Yeah.
Good team man. I actually asked your dad, Brad Moore, about Hayden Bedwell Curtis, and he just said he's a great team man as well. So they're going to be put to the test, especially in loose forwards, as you mentioned, with Reed, Todd, Samu and Tafua. There's four of them out. So they're really digging deep. But you watch these guys. They will step up and they won't let the team down.
Yeah. It's because they've got a bloody good culture down there, mate. That's for sure. And a team that doesn't have a great culture, well, in my eyes anyway, is the Blues. What about this sob story, Nisbo?
Year after year, isn't it? They've perfected the art of losing, haven't they? I mean, when they most look like they're going to win, they lose. And, I mean, the final line-out, having not seen the game, I thought I'd better watch a few news bulletins and, oh, my God.
Before it was thrown in, Nisbo, I was looking at the TV and I was saying this will be not straight. And I talked actually to an All Black lock in the weekend about that final play, and he said, I can't believe with such a crucial line out, and he looked at the backline formation of the Blues, and he said it was the exact right thing. That looked like they were going to create a decoy run, probably with George Moala, because he is their go-to man, create a decoy with him. He said, throw it to two and win it. You always win your line out when you throw it to two. And they try some fancy thing, not straight, game over. It was just...
Well, the thing is that I don't know, tell me if I'm wrong here, but I doubt whether the opposition opposed it. So you only have to get it in straight because it's free ball.
That's right. Free ball, 5 metres out, reset with a little ruck, and then away you go. And they've got the magic out wide. They've got Moala, they've got Duffy, Malani Nanai. They've got all these guys that can win you a game, and they didn't even get the opportunity.
That's what I don't understand, Steph. All the talent in the world. You can't blame the coach. Umanga is a genius. What is it? Do you think it's all the travel and getting stuck in traffic to trainings?
I actually don't know, and I don't think anyone knows what it is. Bravely, Al Rogers, the assistant coach, did an interview the next morning, and I listened to him, and he was just a broken man, and the radio interviewer was ripping into him, and he was just saying, look, all we can do is, all those cliches, trust our processes, take our learnings, which just gives me a massive soft on. I just hate all that stuff, but they've left with nothing else to say. What can you say?
Surely he didn't say learnings.
He said
surely.
He said learnings more than twice.
No.
Learnings.
Yeah, well,
lessons, not learnings.
I reckon it's got to stem from the culture, mate. When I worked there, I hated it. And it's polarising going down to Crusaders where you actually feel part of a family. I don't even know who Brad Morse was for the first 4 weeks last year. I had to ask him what he did, and that shows that I probably don't do my research. But they're just incredible. Every player will come and give you fist before a game. Everybody says hi.
Fisting.
What? Come on, mate. It's a sports show. But anyway, big drops for the Blues. They head over to South Africa, Gauteng, to the Lions Den, and they're paying 305 outside odds to the Lions 137. I reckon they're going to get devoured.
See, the thing with this, you're mentioning the Lions, and it's going to be a mauling. Blues in Afrikaans translates to weasel, and lions eat weasels. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Do you know any bank anywhere in the world that'll give you 37% on your money?
For an hour and a half's investment?
Oh, mate, take it.
So you take the mortgage out on it?
37%.
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, just one fast fact here that I just couldn't get
Fast
my
fact?
head around it, but when you see it on paper, it just jumps out at you. The Blues have only won once in their 24 domestic matchups. Their last 24 domestic matchups.
Against New Zealand
Yeah.
sides. Yeah, I know. Jeez.
Who was that poor unfortunate team?
It is it's mind-boggling.
Yeah, I know it is. I was talking to someone and they said the best thing for the Blues is to get out of the country, because when they're in New Zealand, all the records keep. It was Richard Turner actually was talking about it, and he says when you're in New Zealand, every week it's like haven't beaten the Chiefs for 12 games in succession. Then you line up against the Hurricanes, haven't beaten them since 2013. Then you go against the Highlanders, had one draw in their last 14 games, and that just smashes them. And I try and picture myself being a player for the Blues, doing everything I can, which they are doing.
Yeah.
But they are trying. The coaches are trying. They're doing everything they can, and they're not getting the win. It must be hellishly frustrating.
Yeah, to a team that I love dearly. And they probably will get a win this weekend because they've had a bye, and they've also watched how the Stormers play against the Crusaders. But the Highlanders, Steffi, the Stormers are big lads, especially around the set piece and the rucks and the mauls. So it's going to be tough for the Landers. But they do have the twinkle toes out wide, and I think that's probably where they're going to destroy the Saffers.
Yeah, I went up the escalator in the Christchurch airport behind Sia Khaleesi, the captain, the other day, and I said, "Good morning, Mr. Khaleesi." And he turned around and he said, "Oh, good morning, sir." And we had quite a nice civil kind of chat. And I talked to him about touring New Zealand. And he said it's just such an honour to be here representing the Stormers, playing the New Zealand teams. And he knows what rugby means to New Zealand. He said all the right things, just an incredibly polite man. And he's an incredible player. But I just felt, just in the back of his eyeballs, I could see that they were here for some beatings.
Yeah.
They didn't
Lashings.
want they didn't want them, but it almost had that fait accompli about it.
Yeah.
They're not staying in Dunedin, they're staying in Queenstown for the week.
Well, that shows they're just on holiday. Their mindset's wrong straight away.
Yeah, they'll be bungee jumping and going up the gondolas and
Good on them.
shot over jetting and stuff like that. And absolutely.
Well, it's probably good to do it in New Zealand. I remember that one guy did it over the Zambezi River, and the bungee jump actually broke. I think he passed away. So it's nice that they can come to a secure country. How did you finish that conversation anyway? Were you like, see you later? Oh, jeez.
Oh, Khaleesi.
Okay, yeah, Landers, well, they're paying $1.12 to the Stormers, $5.85 at the Sweaty Glass Box. Easy win here for the Landers, Nisbo?
Yeah, probably. The Stormers got themselves into a real pickle last week. I did have a quick look on my one of my apps during the wedding, and they were down about, 25-0 or something. But at the end of the day, they only lost by about 20 points. So they must have played reasonably well in the second half, I think, having not seen the game again. But, the Highlanders were disappointed they had a bye in the second week after that titanic struggle they had with the Chiefs. Then they had to sit out a bye, so they might have lost a bit of momentum. But, yeah, I would think the Highlanders at home would be pretty comfortable.
No, I think they enjoyed that buy-off. A lot of them went into the bush, picked some pigs up, for the week. So they've done some hard work. They know what it's like to be in those sort of scrubby, confined areas, and just picking up some meat and some bacon for the family. So I think they're well prepared.
That's a great line.
Yeah, cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's look at our head, heart and balls multi for the week. Steffi, who have you got?
What game would you like me to take? There's actually quite a bit on offer. Shall I have a crack at the Highlanders Stormers? With respect, Mr. Khaleesi, I'm going to go a low price because I just want it. It's the Friday night game, so I want us to be alive, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to take Highlanders half-time and full-time at $1.27. I won't take the head-to-head at $1.11, but I do think the Highlanders will win. The Stormers leaked, I think, 20 points in 20 minutes in Christchurch. Could be the same sort of thing. Highlanders rested. Half-time, full-time, Highlanders.
Perfect. Like that. Nisbo, thoughts on the Hurricanes and the Crusaders at the Cape Tin?
Well, as I said before, the bookies started them at $1.87 each. Now, that might change over the next few days, depending on where the money flies, but I think I might just go head-to-head. I'll go with the Canes, because why would I want to go with the Crusaders?
Yeah. Well,
Because they'll probably wouldn't.
Yeah, probably.
My prediction is come kick-off time, the Crusaders will be favourites.
Yeah.
That's my
okay.
prediction.
yeah, no, I think it's going to be a closer game than we actually think as well.
No, I think it's going to be close.
Yeah.
Who thinks it's...
I think it'll be close, yeah. $1.87 would suggest they're quite close, yeah.
Yeah, apologies, guys. Yeah, that's nice from you, Nisbo, with the one-eyed patch. With the eye patch on, actually. No surprises there. I think Bodie is going to have a scintillating game. And
Imagine a two-eyed patch. That's a blindfold.
well, that's maybe how we should be doing this show. Anyway, I'm going to look at the Blues and
Here it comes.
the Lions in Gauteng. And I really think that let's go with the 10-point buffer down here, Steffi.
Oh, the
I think
10-point buffer?
I think the
that one there.
Lions are going to win by 11 to 20, $3.50.
Is that enough?
Really chuck the nail in the coffin.
Is that enough?
No, the Blues still got ticker, mate. They got pride to pay for, and you can't really be losing 3 on the trot this early on in the season, which they are capable of, though. But
Lions 11 to 20 at $3.50. Nice.
yeah, yeah, good stuff.
A 187, a 350, and a $1.27.
You do the math.
About 725, 740, somewhere in around there.
Yeah, good stuff.
That's a real quick. That's a real quick one. See
Failed
how
maths, but yeah, it's good.
maths,
That's good stuff,
Maths
lads.
was my only good subject.
Yeah, hopefully you get to eyeball a few more games this weekend, Nisba. I'm guessing that you'll be commentating a few. Are you doing the one at the Cape Town?
I'll be there, mate. Yes, absolutely. And I'll keep a very close eye so that I'll be fully informed next week.
Yeah, I might be there as well. Is your daughter going?
Hey?
Well, sorry.
He wanted to know, is your daughter going to the Cape Town? Because Ant's going to be there.
No, hey, I don't want to tell you this, but she lives in Auckland, mate.
Yeah, no, I run into her quite a bit, actually.
And then she
Great lady.
runs away.
And what about yourself, Steph? Where are you? You're all over the place.
Yeah, I'm doing Highlanders on Friday night, then the cricket in Christchurch on Saturday morning, and then Saturday night up to the Cape Town for the Highlanders Crusaders.
Yeah, nice.
It's
Well,
gonna-
no, make that the Hurricanes.
The Hurricanes Crusaders, yeah. So I said Highlander, yeah. I've got 6 teams in 2 days, so it's full on weekend. Can't wait.
Yeah, nice. I'll probably be doing the watch a bet in Matarangi from my mate's wedding. So we're giving away Dave Hutchins to his beautiful wife-to-be.
You're
Obviously.
giving him away.
Well, yeah, well, he doesn't have a dad.
So you're going to walk him down the aisle. That's nice.
Well, he's actually got 2 dads, so it's a bit awkward.
He doesn't have to walk down the aisle, mate.
There we have it, lads. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you next week.
Skibbity-doo-bop-bop, beep-beep-boop-boop. Skibbity-doo-bop.